Welcome to Meta Money with NMG. My name is Justin and this is Brian, and the mission statement behind what we do is to help show you how to turn your passion into profit. And right now the internet is ripe with ways to create wealth. From emerging financial markets like crypto assets to the hottest new NFT trends, opportunities are everywhere. And not to mention the most recent buzzword that's got everyone scrambling to figure it all out, Metaverse.
Justin and I are very excited to bring you along on our journey into the newest and hottest way to make money. In this video, we break down what we think is the metaverse and the ways you can make money with it right now. What is the metaverse? Everyone has their own idea of what the metaverse looks like, but no one really knows who will come out as a top player in the space. But in our non-techie opinion, the metaverse is an online, 3D version of an alternate reality, using a combination of augmented and virtual realities as well as video to create a live environment in a digital universe that you can access through your computer or even a headset. However, the real question we came here to answer is, how the heck can you make money with the metaverse?
Well, Brian, that is the trillion-dollar question. But before we get into that, I think it'd be fun for us to both give what our take on what the metaverse will look like in our opinion. So with that being said, Brian, to you, what's the metaverse?
So I guess the metaverse to me is basically anything that your mind can imagine, you can put yourself there digitally. And whether that's spending time with friends and family, having your own customizable avatar, and also I love video games, so NFTs, collectibles, being able to own your assets in a digital world is super cool to me. So that's kind of what I think about the metaverse, but what about you, Justin?
Absolutely. Well, thank you for asking. To me, the metaverse is the ability to escape your reality, and for a myriad of reasons. Everybody has their own, I'm sure. But if you ever saw the movie or read the book Ready Player One, to me, that is a true metaverse, right? When you can be anything, you can be anybody, you can do anything, you can escape where you are in your life to go there. And I know that you say a lot about the gaming. To me, gaming is not a big factor of my life. But if you take an example of, say, schooling, for example, say you live in a low-income area, you could get into the metaverse and you can go to a school in the most prestigious school district in the world, in the country, wherever it happens to be. I think a lot of that stuff is really cool. But why I'm here and what I'm focused on the metaverse is money. And when you're thinking about money, I'm thinking about land. Buying land in the metaverse is going to prove to be one of the most important and possibly financial rewarding steps that you're going to take in this entire journey. Prices are rising quickly, so you don't want to sleep on it. For example, sand for Sandbox rose more than 260% in November. It's still climbing, which also is going to relate to the direct cost of the virtual land.
There are several companies out there building a metaverse, and here's where we bought land for future use and development. Keep in mind, right now we are just going over these platforms. In the weeks ahead, we will collaborate with others in the space to break down these platforms on a more granular level. But here they are. We got Decentraland, Sandbox, Axie Infinity, Illuvium, and Roblox.
But it is good to note that not only can you buy land or build and watch it appreciate, but you can buy the land to rent it out or develop your land and lease it out or advertise to platforms or other people that want to set up a business. Virtual worlds can mimic any activity from the real world, and the possibilities for users to interact with each other are virtually endless.
Now that includes interacting with companies, their brands, and products. In-game advertising is already a multi-billion-dollar industry, and these online environments are huge social spaces for the younger generation. This is where they meet, socialize, collaborate, and hang out.
Absolutely. And the number of users in the metaverse, it is growing rapidly. Now, it's easy to understand and assume that the virtual worlds and their new social spaces are going to become massive advertising channels over time.
Moving on to another way to make money with the metaverse is to actually invest in companies that are building and have a native token. For example, we have Sand for Sandbox, we have Axie for Axie Infinity, and we have Mana for Decentraland.
That's a great point, Brian. Not only can you invest in companies that are building, but you can invest in the industry as a whole. For those who prefer the traditional investing route, stocks of metaverse-focused companies are a great option. Tech, gaming, e-commerce, and social media giants like Microsoft, NVIDIA, Amazon, Disney, Unity, and the recently rebranded Meta from Facebook revealed their interests in developing in their own metaverse. And all of these companies are publicly listed on stock exchanges.
Now, stocks are great and all, but the majority of the metaverses are built on Ethereum. The hype around them is reflected in the massive price surge of ETH, the native crypto asset of the underlying Ethereum blockchain.
Absolutely, and the landscape is always changing. However, as competing blockchains enable their own smart contracts with NFT functionalities, Solana, for example, witnessed almost a vertical growth in recent months due to the NFT craze and attention from institutional investors. Blockchain protocols that aim to solve scalability issues and offer lower network fees than Ethereum have solid fundamentals to grow in terms of NFT-driven demand.
That actually brings us to the next way to make meta money. Invest in NFTs. They are collectibles and in that regard, speculative assets. Because of the tech features, NFTs are unique pieces of digital data which makes them scarce and valuable.
Scarce, I get that. But I also don't know a whole lot about them because I'm just getting into NFTs. However, I do wish that I did not have slept on the Bored Ape Club or the Mutant Apes. But it is what it is. That's where we are. Anyway, the last thing that we're going to talk about making money in the metaverse is play to earn with gaming.
I love this aspect of freaking metaverse. All right, blockchain-based games and NFTs enable a new revolutionary play to earn gaming model. The principle here is simple. Gamers have ownership and control over their in-game assets and full ability to trade or exchange them for real-world money. Gaming economics like Axie Infinity are the perfect example of how the metaverse can change someone's life.
Now, during the pandemic, thousands of players stormed into the game. They grew their digital pets or their Axies and then traded them online, making more money than they did with their real-life job. Axie Infinity's price skyrocketed more than 2,100% in a 2-month span.
Okay, there it is. In our opinion, the top 5 ways you can make money right now with the metaverse, as we're calling it, making meta money.
Absolutely. All right, well, that's all we got time for today. Make sure you tune in next Saturday as we keep digging into the metaverse. So have yourself a great weekend and get outside and get some fresh air.
See you guys soon.